Greetings and salutations, my dear audience. This is Joe St. Egg Benedictus coming at you with a Bible review of a used kind, and want to give a shout out to my pal Mike, to all the visionaries and mystics out there. Thank you for joining me. I really thank you for coming and joining me as we review Bibles and other things, and particularly thrift store or used Bibles. Today I have a little bit of a different Bible, one I'm not too familiar with, but I'm actually really digging. It is the Good News Bible, but it's different because it's with the Deuterocanonical. Look at this, the Deuterocanonicals and Apocrypha. Now, I thought they were one and the same, but I think they're trying not to offend anyone, so they're just covering all their bases. And it's for Catholics. Now, I had no idea that they made a Good News Bible for Catholics, but apparently they do. So if you look over here, you'll see it's by Catholic Bible Press. It's hardcover, of course. There's the information. All right, so it has all of these helps. So it is a Good News Bible, but one of the interesting things is that it's almost like a study Bible, because even though it's not that thick, I would say maybe this is, let me see here. This is about, as you can see, about 1.5 inches, okay? It has all kinds of Bible study helps and study guides and all kinds of fun things that is really incredible. I have some bookmarks here I'm going to show you. So let's jump right in. But as you may or may not know, the Good News Bible was originally a translation into modern English language around the 60s, intended for the mission field. Robert Bratcher, I believe his name was the Baptist missionary who translated the Greek into the New Testament, and it gained popularity, and then I believe it was the American Bible Society, took the new and then set up a council or an editorial group and revised the New Testament and then did the Old Testament, and turned out that the Good News Bible is actually a very good translation. I encourage anyone who thinks, oh, it's a paraphrase, it's not that accurate, to really check it out, because even though, yes, it is a paraphrase, it is actually a wonderful translation. It gets at the heart of the text. And in my particular field, I know some people who were on that editorial board, or at least knew people who knew people, and were really faithful to the language of the text. So you shouldn't knock the Good News Bible. And this says it's the second or new revision or second edition, I'm assuming just for Catholics, but I'm not sure if I know how it differs. So let's jump right in. First of all, this particular Bible, I believe, was published in 1993. Okay, it has the imprimatur here, the imprimatur. And here's the contents. As you can see, it's not just the Bible. You have essays, the purpose of the Bible, Bible and history, how to study the Bible, then the Old Testament. Now, this is interesting. You have the Deuterocanonicals and Apocrypha set off by itself, which I think for a Catholic Bible is a little bit disingenuous. If you're doing Catholic Bible, at least put the books in order, and then the New Testament text. So that's how they chose to do this. Again, if you're publishing it as a Catholic Bible, I'm not sure why you wouldn't put the Deuterocanonical or apocryphal books where they belong in the order of the text that was in the original. I guess the Septuagint, or even the Latin text. But then you get all of these helps at the end: word list, chronology, how the Bible came about, literary forms of the Bible, biblical themes, suggested readings, and then my favorite section, the study guide, questions. So for a little Bible, and I mean little, it's not a huge Bible, you get a lot of helps with this. So let's just go through it very briefly. All right, first you get those essays at the front, like for instance, the purpose of the Bible, inspiration, okay, revelation in the Bible, and then you get the Bible and history, okay. From a Catholic point of view, yes, but Catholics have a very traditional understanding of the Bible for the most part, how to study the Bible. So, a lot of people say, well, Catholics, they don't study the Bible or they don't read the Bible. Well, this Bible study is intended to get people to read the Bible, and this guide gives people the ability to do so. You'll see it's line matched. The paper's pretty thin. You can see there's a lot of see-through, but it is line matched. We'll see if that turns up the same for the Bible. Then you get these aids. Here's the contents of the testaments, and then the aids. Okay, but let me show you. Let's go to the text before we move on. Okay, first of all, it has an essay before each part. So it has an essay for the Pentateuch, it has an essay for other books, and then the Deuterocanon and the Apocrypha. We'll go there in a minute. And then for each book, you have an introduction, an outline, and then there's try to get out of my own way here. And then there's the 2-column text. As you can see, there's a little bit of ghosting, but again, it is line matched. And then the notes are on the bottom, okay? So very, very interesting book. One, because it's just different. I don't know. It's a good Bible. It has a lot of helps. You have the books here nice and clear. All right. So, and then these go down. So you'll see like Job, 2 Chronicles. Okay. So when you flip it, you see that the books are almost like indexed without being indexed to help you find the book. Then it gives you these little cross references for the chapters, summary headings. It's not verse by verse, but it's a very clear type, as you can see. Okay, but then as you go, you have various things. Let me see here if I can find something here. Okay, here's for instance, here's in Genesis, you have, I believe it's a map. There's a map. Okay, right in the middle of the text. I mean, tell me that's not a cool Bible. And by the way, I got this for $1. You know, if you go to the used bookstore or the thrift store, at least in my neck of the woods, you get a wonderful Bible with essays, easy to read text, you know, a good version, in my opinion, all for $1. I mean, this is as good as any other, you know, study Bible or evangelical Bible because of those great articles. All right. So let's go ahead and flip here. Here's the Deuterocanonicals, Apocrypha. Okay, again, I would have preferred them in the middle of where they belong if this is a Catholic Bible. I'm not Catholic myself, but I think that would be, you know, I have a little bit of a bias toward you know, doing things right, not necessarily, you know, conforming to the evangelical world. Here's an introduction to the Deuterocanonical apocryphal books, and you have Tobit, again, introduction, outline, and then that. As I mentioned, you have things throughout the Bible. Here's a little study help on the Sermon on the Mount. It talks about, it gives you a little outline of the sermon. I thought that was pretty cool. Maps, as I mentioned. And then at the end, you have, again, more helps. A word list. This is like a glossary. Okay? So you can see their glossary. You have, let's see here, chronology of the Bible. So basically a timeline, obviously. All right. Starts with creation, Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, prehistory. All right. Turn the Bible. The only thing I would complain about this is, again, the ghosting. But when you're packing this much in a small Bible, you can't use wide paper. How the Bible came about. So more essays, just chock full of essays. And I'm going to get to the cool part here, which is the study guide. Suggested readings for the liturgical year. Look at that. Advent. I didn't notice this in my first look through, so I'm going to look at this. Season of Advent is time preparation. So you have your scripture readings for Advent. You have your Old Testament readings, New Testament readings, Christmas season, Lenten season. Now, this is something that I didn't know was in here. I mean, I just spotted just now with y'all. And I love that it has this liturgical calendar and description. I wish our Bibles came with that, especially the NRSV, because a lot of churches that use the NRSV, including mine, go according to the church year, and it would be great if when we're introducing a new season of the church year, I can tell my church, pull out your pew Bible, go to page 368, and read up on Advent or Lent, and describing the church year to everyone is always so, tricky, because you want to inform people, but putting something in their hand is even better. I'm trying to get through this.
I got neuropathy. My hands are going numb.
All right, study questions. This is what I really wanted to get to. Study questions. For each book, it gives study questions. Now, this reminds me of the Serendipity Bible. which gives questions for, most chapters. But if you're in a small group, and let's say I'm doing Second Kings, and preaching this month in church, but look, you have questions like how do the two prophets differ? Why is the author forever comparing later kings to David? And you basically can use these for icebreakers for your small group. You can use them for teaching outline, but I think that is so cool. And just the fact that it had those liturgical calendar descriptions just made this Bible all the more cooler. Now, for me, again, I'm not a Catholic, and I don't use the Good News Bible in any particular setting other than at times devotional settings. But I love this Bible. It gives me the Good News Bible in full, Old and New Testament, and now with the Deuterocanonical and Apocryphal books. So this is really an all-in-one guide. One of these days I'll get to reading those essays so that I can, just learn myself. But I think for $1, you get more bang for the buck with this great Bible. And this goes to show that you don't need to spend a gazillion dollars or even, market value or manufacturer's price like $24.99 to get a great Bible. If you're looking and you're on the hunt and you're searching like a sleuth for the Bible, like a detective, you're going to find something that's great that includes essays and all that. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you like and subscribe down there. Check out other videos, comment, and be a part of the community. And as always, Sasquatch says, have a wonderful day.